my informative speech about trap shooting. Trap shooting is one of the fastest growing high school sports in America. According to an article in Time magazine, participation has increased by over 137% in the past 3 years. While it's still not a super popular sport, I think it deserves more recognition because of its inclusivity. You'll need several materials and equipment to participate. Earplugs are definitely a necessity because in a span of about 15 to 30 minutes, 125 to 300 shots are going off. Over time, this can be very damaging to your eardrums, so all shooters are required to wear earplugs or headphones at all times. You'll also need safety glasses to protect your eyes from any projectiles, dust, dirt, or rain. You'll also need a special shooting vest. These two big pockets right here hold your shells, and in the shoulders right here you have padding to protect you from the kick of the gun. You'll also need shells. You can buy special shells that are made for trap shooting at any sports goods store like Academy, Cabela's, or even at Walmart. These shells will have a picture of an orange clay like this one on it and say that they're made for target shooting, so you know how the right kind. These are the clay pigeons, or skeet as some people call them themselves. You can buy them in a box of 135 for about $10 at Walmart or any one of the sporting goods stores that I previously mentioned. You'll also need either a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge gun. 20 gauges are better for beginners because they have less kick and a much wider spread pattern, so there's a higher chance of the shooter hitting the target with at least one or two of the shot and having a chance of breaking it off. 12 gauges are better for more advanced shooters because they have a much more narrow spread pattern and they're more accurate with the way they shoot, so you're more likely to shatter it. Chokes can also affect the spread pattern of a gun. If you have no choke, it's fairly regulated, they're all pretty wide, they all go all over the place. But if you have, for example, a modified full or super full choke, you can see the way that that affects them and how it narrows the spread pattern and makes it more exact and more aimed. Once you have all of these things in a safe place to shoot, you need to learn about how it's scored and how it works. This is a trap field. These are your 5 stations that you shoot from, and this is the trap house where the skeet come out of. This is what it looks like on a typical competition field with many of them in a row, and there's always shooting going on and there's always shots going off. These are your different throwing devices. This is a hand thrower that's used in more casual practicing. If you're just at home or with family and just want to fire a couple shots off, you load a clay pigeon into this and just throw it with your hand. But this is a machine. These are electrically powered and they have a button hooked to them, and they're used in any competitions or practices, and they oscillate, which means they throw them in different, just very random directions. So when the shooter is ready to shoot and they hold their gun up, then they say pull, which signals to the coach that has a button to push the button and fire a clay target out of the machine. There's also a spotter that keeps score. You get 1 point for every target that you hit, whether it's dust comes off of it, or whether a piece comes off of it, or whether you shatter it completely. You get 1 point no matter what. Once you know all about the sport and how it works, you can learn about the benefits of it. One benefit is hunting practice. If you hunt any type of bird, whether it's ducks, doves, or geese, shooting trap is a good way to practice this in off season because the way the targets move is very similar to that of a bird. You can practice your follow through and your aiming and all that kind of stuff. Gun safety is also an obvious benefit of shooting trap because you're constantly having to practice gun safety because you always have to wear proper protective equipment. You have to have your action open when you're not using your gun to avoid any unwanted accidents. And you always have to have your gun aimed downrange or up in the air, never at people. Another benefit is your mental health and mental focus. In order to shoot accurately and consistently, you have to have a very clear and concentrated mind. You have to train your eyes to focus on the targets that you want to shoot at, and you have to train your brain to do so too. Another benefit is the inclusivity and diversity of trap shooting. It's very non-discriminative, and it's a sport that anyone can participate in. even seen disabled people on teams shoot just as good as anyone else. Sharpshooting is a sport that has many reasons and many benefits to it. And that is why I think it deserves more recognition and more appreciation. In order to shoot, you need all the right equipment and facilities and an understanding of the sport and its benefits. Anyone from a quarterback to a trumpet player to a calculus club member can join a shooting team and excel at it, but you have to have the right determination and the right mindset to do so. And these are my works cited.